What if I told you that the less you care, the more control you gain? Most people don't realize that caring too much is like handing over the keys to your power. You felt it every time you tried to explain yourself, win approval, or hold on too tightly. You ended up feeling weaker, overlooked, or even manipulated. Machiavelli knew this brutal truth centuries ago. Emotion is a leash, and the more you feel, the easier you are to control. In this video, I'll show you how detachment, real, unapologetic detachment, can make others chase your approval instead of the other way around. Stay until the end, because what you're about to learn might flip every belief you've had about respect, power, and control. 1. The power of detachment. Have you ever felt that the more you try to please others, the less they value you? It's brutal, but true. When you overgive or seek approval, you hand over your power like a gift wrapped in weakness. Machiavelli would tell you, emotions worn on your sleeve are chains, not strengths. Jonathan, a 33-year-old consultant, believed that genuine care for his colleagues would earn him lasting respect. He stayed late to fix every problem, answered calls at midnight, and bent over backward to meet impossible demands. But instead of recognition, Jonathan was quietly labeled the company's yes man, the guy who'd take on anything without question. The breaking point came during a high-stakes meeting where he had shaped the strategy for weeks. When it was time for credit, his voice was brushed aside. Something inside him snapped. He realized it wasn't his competence that held him back. It was his need for validation. The next day, he tried something different. He stopped chasing praise and spoke less, only when necessary. To his surprise, people started leaning in when he talked. His silence had weight. His detachment didn't make him cold. It made him untouchable. Maybe you've been Jonathan, pouring your energy into being the nice one, only to watch others who care less take the spotlight. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Emotion is a leash. The more you care, the tighter it gets. When you're desperate to be liked, you become predictable, and predictability invites manipulation. Why do we respect the calm, mysterious leader rather than the one who's always available? It's because distance creates gravity. Detachment signals confidence. It tells the world you don't need anyone's approval to stand tall. Ask yourself, when was the last time someone dismissed your opinion simply because you were trying too hard to be agreeable? Real strength lies in being deliberate with your energy. Instead of over-explaining, practice pausing for 3 seconds before you respond. That silence is often more powerful than any frantic attempt to please. Remember, respect isn't gifted. It's claimed by those who know when to hold back. If you think detachment is powerful, wait until you see the next rule: strategic indifference. This is where calm confidence becomes your sharpest weapon. Miss it, and you'll keep playing the role of the overlooked, nice one. Stay tuned, because the shift starts here. 2. Strategic indifference. What if I told you that the more you chase approval, the faster you lose control? It might sound harsh, but every time you over-explain, apologize for no reason, or bend over backward to please others, you're silently teaching them to undervalue you. Respect is never given to those who look desperate for it. It's earned by those who can hold their ground and stay composed, even in tense moments. Michael, a 33-year-old product manager, believed that being endlessly helpful would make him indispensable. He volunteered for every single task, replied to emails within seconds, and often stayed late to clean up other people's messes. But instead of admiration, what he got was invisibility. Colleagues saw him as the backup plan, someone dependable but unremarkable. The breaking point came during a high-stakes pitch he had worked on for weeks. His voice trembled as he tried to please everyone in the room, while a less skilled but confident teammate, calm, detached, and speaking only when necessary, stole the spotlight and got the credit. Michael's heart sank as he realized his eagerness to be agreeable made him predictable and easy to dismiss. Maybe you felt the same sting, working hard to be liked, only to feel small and overlooked. Look, Machiavelli warned about this long ago. The one who is too generous or too soft loses both power and respect. When you're always available, always saying yes, you become ordinary. Confidence, on the other hand, is deliberate. It's the quiet person who speaks with conviction that people lean in to hear. Think back. When was the last time you agreed to something you didn't want just to avoid conflict? Did it earn you respect, or did it leave you feeling drained? The truth is simple. Setting boundaries, even small ones, signals strength. Try this. Next time you feel the urge to jump in and fix everything, pause. Give silence a chance to work for you. That pause tells the world you know your value. If this strikes a chord, you need to hear the next part. The cost of caring. It reveals why those who care less often end up with the most control. Skip it, and you risk staying trapped in the same loop of over-giving and under-receiving, never realizing how much power you already hold. If any part of this message feels like your life story, drop your thoughts in the comments. Someone reading might need to hear your truth too. 3. The cost of caring. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." It might sound harsh, but history has proven him right. Love fades with time and familiarity, but respect, especially the kind born from strength and clarity, remains. Think of a chessboard. The quiet, unmoving king still commands every piece, not because he chases approval, but because his position is undeniable. Think about David, a 36-year-old team leader at a fast-paced tech company. He believed that endless kindness and availability would make people respect him. He stayed late every night to fix problems that weren't his, gave up weekends to meet deadlines, and swallowed his voice when his ideas were dismissed. His team grew careless, assuming he would always pick up the slack, while his boss overlooked his contributions because his silence was mistaken for lack of initiative. Then came the twist. During a crucial product launch, a younger colleague, confident, composed, and far less accommodating, walked away with the credit and a promotion. That was David's wake-up call. His desire to be liked had turned into his greatest weakness. Maybe you've been David, working tirelessly, yet watching others with less effort earn the respect you crave. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He believed that power doesn't come from being endlessly kind, but from being strategic with your presence. Caring too much is like exposing your king on the chessboard. It gives others the advantage to strike. The moment you care more than they do, you hand them leverage. Respect is built on boundaries, mystery, and restraint. Napoleon once said that fear and respect are stronger motivators than affection. Even Steve Jobs, often criticized for being tough, was admired because his decisiveness left no room for doubt. Ask yourself, how many times have you lost respect simply by trying too hard to gain approval? If you want people to value your presence, you must protect your energy, control your narrative, and stop giving all your moves away. The next part, Mastering Emotional Control, will show you how to turn silence and composure into a weapon of influence. Skip it and you'll stay stuck in the cycle of overgiving and feeling invisible. But if you stay, you'll learn why holding back, just like a king waiting for the right move, can make everyone else play by your rules. 4. Mastering Emotional Control. Have you ever wondered why some people can walk into a room and instantly command attention without saying a word, while others, those who try harder and care more, are ignored? Machiavelli would say it's because power belongs to those who master their emotions. When you show every bit of frustration or eagerness, you hand over control. Emotional control isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about choosing what to reveal and when, so you remain unreadable and unshakable. Imagine a workplace scenario. Ethan, a 33-year-old sales director, believed that constantly responding to everyone would earn him respect. He answered phone calls late at night, replied to every email immediately, and went out of his way to keep everyone happy. But this constant availability made him predictable and easy to exploit. When a major deal failed, he was blamed, not because it was his fault, but because everyone assumed he would take responsibility. Meanwhile, a quieter colleague who exuded calm confidence walked away unscathed. Emotional control was the difference. Have you ever tried so hard to please others that you lost the ability to say no, only to feel smaller and less respected? The same principle applies in dating. Think about texting someone who barely replies while you send long messages, hoping to keep the conversation alive. Who holds the power? It's the one who remains calm and measured. Machiavelli argued that people respect what they cannot fully read or control. Emotional restraint creates mystery, and mystery breeds respect. To practice this, start by pausing before you react, especially when you feel the urge to defend or over-explain yourself. A deliberate silence often speaks louder than 100 rushed words. Mastering emotional control means using silence, composure, and measured responses as tools of influence. Think about the last time you stayed calm while everyone else overreacted. Didn't it make your presence feel stronger? In the next part, The Art of Concealment, we'll explore how revealing less can turn you into someone others lean in to understand. Skip this, and you'll miss the key to protecting your power and making others play by your rules. If you want to become stronger, wiser, and untouchable, hit subscribe and join this growing movement. 5. The Art of Concealment. What do Warren Buffett and Jeff Bezos have in common? They never show their full hand. Their power comes from being strategic and deliberate with what they reveal. Machiavelli would say this is no accident. When people can't predict your next move, they have no leverage over you, and that mystery commands respect. Take Warren Buffett, known as one of the greatest investors of all time. Buffett is not just famous for his wealth, but for his measured, almost enigmatic approach. He rarely makes public statements about his next big moves, and when he speaks, every word carries weight. Behind closed doors, Buffett listens far more than he talks. This quiet strategy prevents others from reading his intentions too easily. Machiavelli would call this calculated concealment, a form of power where silence is as effective as action. Buffett's restraint proves a simple but profound truth. Respect grows when you stop oversharing. Would you dare keep your plans to yourself, even if it means people underestimate you in the short term? Consider Jeff Bezos, who built Amazon into a global empire. Bezos is known for his ability to stay composed, never revealing too much about his next steps. Even during controversies, he speaks with clarity and avoids emotional outbursts. This makes him hard to challenge, because unpredictability is a shield. Machiavelli believed life is not about showing every emotion, it's about playing the long game. Bezos' success comes from knowing when to speak and when to hold back, which aligns perfectly with Machiavelli's principle: control the narrative by revealing less. So, what's the lesson for you? Start small. The next time you feel the urge to explain every detail or show frustration, pause. Observe how people react when you say less. Often, the less you reveal, the more others lean in to understand you. If this strikes a chord, wait for what's next: the strength of silence. This is the game changer that separates true leaders from those who get ignored. Skip it, and you'll miss the key to commanding attention without even trying. 6. The strength of silence. Have you ever noticed how the person who speaks the least in a meeting often holds the most power? It's not because they know less, it's because their silence creates weight. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Silence is not emptiness, it's strategy. And when mastered, it becomes the final weapon that completes every power move we've explored so far. Think of Robert, a 37-year-old executive who believed that proving himself meant talking more, explaining more, and answering every challenge. In meetings, he would fill the air with facts and opinions, thinking it showed authority. But instead of commanding respect, his words became predictable, and people stopped listening. Then Robert noticed a colleague, someone with less experience, who barely spoke. When this colleague did, every word landed with impact. He didn't need to compete for attention. His silence pulled the room toward him. Robert realized that silence is like gravity. It makes others lean in, waiting for you to speak because they sense you have nothing to prove. Maybe you've been Robert too, trying so hard to be heard that your presence became lighter instead of stronger. Everything we've explored, why kindness without strength backfires, why detachment commands respect, why strategic indifference shifts power, why concealment protects you, leads to this point: mastering silence. Machiavelli believed the true power lies in holding back, letting others reveal their weaknesses while you remain unreadable. To start applying this, try 3 steps. First, pause for 3 seconds before responding to anything important. It shows control. Second, stop explaining yourself when it's unnecessary. Let your decisions stand on their own. Third, observe how people react when you say less. It will reveal who truly respects your presence. The less you reveal, the stronger your position becomes. You now hold the final key: the strength of silence. But knowing this truth is not enough. In the conclusion, I'll show you how every lesson we've uncovered can be combined, so you walk away ready to command respect and rewrite your own story. Don't miss this, because mastering silence is what transforms insight into lasting influence. If this video opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to hear this right now. It could change their life. Oh, you've uncovered all 6 principles, each one a piece of the puzzle that Machiavelli knew would separate the powerful from the forgotten. These lessons aren't just theories, they are tools you can use to shift the way people see and respect you, starting today. You've learnt that detachment creates gravity, strategic indifference commands attention, and caring less puts you back in control. You've seen how concealment protects your strength, how silence can be a weapon, and how mastering emotional control turns you from a pawn into the one who sets the rules. Each principle builds on the other, giving you a roadmap to undeniable authority. Imagine how different your life could be when you stop chasing approval and start holding your ground. Think of every time you've been ignored or underestimated. Those moments are about to end. The power you seek isn't outside of you. It's in your ability to stay calm, deliberate, and impossible to manipulate. Picture yourself 30 days from now, walking into a room and commanding respect without saying much, speaking less, but with words that land like steel, and radiating a presence that others can't ignore. That version of you is closer than you think. If this message gave you strength, subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. And if you're ready for more lessons like this, stay with us, because this is just the beginning of your transformation.